Okay, we're here with Maurice Williamson, MP for Pakuranga, standing for National again. How's it going, Maurice?
This is my 8th election campaign, and without doubt it would have to be the best response we're getting from the public. I think in 5 days of campaigning here at the Westfield Shopping Centre, we've had 3 aunties. One of them was Helen Clark's auntie. If you look at the muffin break shop just down over there, they're holding big glass tower poll. In fact, we might be best to go down and film it. And people get to vote with their beans. As they buy a coffee, they're given a bean. And the National Tower is well and truly more than double the height of Labor Tower. So if this public in this area and this poll is anything to go on, we are really, really comfortable. And if anyone says, oh, well, it's a national area, so that would do that, let me tell you, we lost both that bean poll and the party vote here in 2002. So it isn't just a lay down gimme.
And what are the locals saying is the major issue?
Oh, I think without doubt the biggest one would now be the economy. It's consuming everything. The nervousness about whether their money in the bank even is safe, or with the announcements today that probably that will have gone away a little bit. The share market being all over the place in a roller coaster ride. People nervous about where do I put my money. I've actually had several people say, where should I put my money? I said, well, I'm not actually a registered investment advisor, I can't tell you. Second, by a really close whisker, would be the law and order issue. There is just a total gutsful of thugs and real bad bastards having done unbelievable injury and killings and rapes, and then seeing them back out again on parole and re-offending. And there are people here who are on the verge of saying just lock them up and throw away the key. It's very strong.
Because of course if you use a hockey stick to defend yourself, you're the one that gets arrested.
Well, that's been raised by about 5 people over these few days, just saying what a disgrace that a dairy owner whose life is threatened, and don't tell me they're not because they have been killed, he finds himself under huge threat, he uses a hockey stick to defend himself, and somehow that's against the law. Just outrageous.
Now you said this was your 8th election. Now that's for Parliament. What was your first ever election? School, university?
No, just Parliament.
No, so
just Parliament. Yeah, no. I've stood for office within the National Party, but never stood for anything else. And g'day, how are you? And see, it was a fantastic response. Good thumbs up and so on. Yeah, no, I only ever stood for one C-election, which was to be selected out here, and one E-election, which was elected out here, and gone through a topsy-turvy ride since.
Now, if you could vote in the United States election, of course, they're 3 days before us, would you be going for Obama or McCain?
I would be going for McCain, mainly because I've always supported the Republicans more than the Democrats. But in Obama's case, I'm really worried about someone who can be leading in the polls by saying simply nothing. I've taken several copies of his key speeches, which when they're presented are brilliant oratory. They are superb. They are, I believe in change this country needs, come with me on the road to... And then when you get with a whole lot of pen and say, well, what has he said? It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. And at least the Republicans are saying some things, and good old Sarah Palin's putting her head on the line a few times and saying some stuff, whether you like her or not. I'd like to see the Republicans get back.
And final question, another choice one, Gough or Cunliffe?
Oh, it couldn't be Cunliffe. He's so disliked by his own troops. You know, to become the new leader, you've got to be supported by your own troops. And Gough's got a reasonable following in there, and I think would probably spill the leadership over within a couple of days if they lose. But I don't believe David Cunliffe would ever have those numbers, because there's a number of his own people who just go...
Hey, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Okay, so here's a muffin break coffee bar, and what happens is when people buy a cup of coffee, they're given a bean. So it's not that you can cheat, you can't come in with a handful of beans or anything. You get 1 bean for each cup of coffee, and then you get to vote. Interestingly, you've got ACT and New Zealand First almost equal down there with very little. As you can see, National's doing exceedingly well relative to Labour, and then all other, which is probably even beating both ACT and New Zealand First. So I guess there's a bit of Green in there, and United Future, and I don't know, whatever else is in there. But that's a very, very good poll actually, because in 2002, when we lost the party vote here, as we did in most electorates, Labour actually won that.
When did the poll start?
I think they've had it for 4 elections.